Welcome everyone. This week's Torah portion is Beshalach, which in Hebrew means when he sent. And it's found in the beginning of chapter 13 of the book of Exodus. So Pharaoh sends the Jewish people out of Egypt to go serve God in the desert. But very shortly after, Pharaoh says, wait a minute, we have no slaves. What are we supposed to do now? Who's supposed to take care of everything? This isn't practical. So Pharaoh and his soldiers start chasing the Jewish people. And the Jewish people are cornered off by the sea. So they're, on one hand, behind them there's the sea, and coming towards them is Pharaoh and his armies. Obviously, the Jews are panicking. God tells Moses to lift his staff over the sea. And miraculously, we have the splitting of the sea. The Jewish people go through the sea and come out the other side. And behind them, the Egyptian chariots and the Egyptian armies are coming down through the sea, but the water closes on them and drowns them. Our rabbis tell us that by this episode of the splitting of the sea, a simple Jewish person was able to see godliness on the same levels that our prophets saw godliness when they spoke to God. That's how powerful this occurrence, this miracle of the splitting of the sea was. The Jewish people in the desert are traveling. They don't have water, clean water. They don't have any food. And they're complaining to Moses and to Aaron. You brought us here into the desert. You promised you would bring us to freedom, and now we're dying of starvation. So Moses prays to God. And miraculously, Moses is able to sweeten the bitter waters from the Mara house of this foundation of water. Moses hits the rock, and water comes fresh from out of the rock. Moses prays to God and causes that there should be every single morning the manna bread coming down from the heavens. But the Jewish people were frustrated with Moses, and it was tough for him to face them every day as their leader. Moses tells the Jewish people, obviously from God, everything that Moses told the Jews was directly from God. That on Friday they should collect double portion of manna, because on Saturday, on the day of rest, the day of Shabbat, the day when God rested after he created the world, there would not be no manna coming down. Some people, they thought they were smart. They went on Saturday to try to look for manna, but there was none. Everything that was left over from Friday was disappeared. Now, Aaron, Moses' older brother, took a little jar and put some manna in there as a testament, a testimony for future generations should see these miracles. Our rabbis tell us that when Elijah the prophet will come, with the coming of Messiah, he will bring us the special jar, which is somewhere in an unknown place. Now, the first time the Jews face, I can't say adversity because they're coming out of slavery, but the first time as a nation, by themselves, that they face a war is from the nation of the Amalek. The Amaleks come to, start up with the Jews, battle with them. Moses prays to God. And Joshua, Moses' student, protege of Moses, who later became the leader of the Jewish people, assembled a little army together, and they miraculously defeated the Amalekites. Haman, actually, who tried to destroy the people, all of the Jewish people in the times of Purim, of Achashverosh and Queen Esther, he came from that nation, which the Jewish people were commanded to destroy all of them when they were coming to kill the Jewish people. But unfortunately, not all of them were destroyed. And that's where Haman came from. Maybe even Hitler. So, what is the lesson we can learn from this week's Torah portion? It's a very interesting Torah portion. It's a Torah portion with the biggest miracles that ever existed on planet Earth, the splitting of the sea. It's a Torah portion which shows us some of the downsides of human nature, complaining, the Jewish people being ungrateful, not trusting in God. It's such a whiplash in this Torah portion. But the truth is, this is what life is. We have ups and downs. We have strong moments. We have miracles. We have moments that we lose our faith. Our faith is tested. But we have to stay the course, because the Jewish people now are in the desert on the way to receive the Torah. And yes, they have shortcomings. And yes, they complain. But this is the people that God chose to be his special nation, that gave up everything in the world just to serve him. So this is our ancestors that we're supposed to, pay gratitude to them for staying the tough course, that even after they're redeemed from slavery, there's so many more issues coming their way, but they stood strong, and we should learn from that, to stay strong nowadays, because we know God will give us all the blessings that we need. We know we're soon going to merit to the coming of the Messiah, when there will be no more evil in the world. It's our job to stay the course, to learn from our ancestors. Yes, we complain. Yes, we're human beings, but stay the course till the finish line. Thank you all for joining me this week. So nice having you all. Shalom.